You have to get to the highest point of physical from the lowest point of physical to master physical. And you yourself or myself as physical are at the lowest point of physical. I am as physical as I can be. And that has nothing to do with your actions and your deeds and how much pork you eat, or that's not me. I mean, your very state of existence as a dense body is as physical as you could be. You can't get any harder. You are as dense as you can become as a being. Your journey is definitely the other way. But you must first study the degrees of density, which is introduced to you by religion. Because religion separates you from the spiritual realm by declaring you other than God. And declaring God or Allah or whatever name spiritual, thus confirming that you must be physical. And that your journey from this physical state is to the spiritual realm. See how you do it? So you stay caught up in religion, separating yourself from God, praying to God. And when a man like, let's say, the great Honorable Elijah Muhammad comes along and says, give them back their spookism, he insults your intelligence. You actually get offended. When the person says, brother, you are God. I ain't no God, man. I ain't no God. God is up in heaven. God is spiritual. He said, you are God. Now, even in the Nation of Islam, they didn't listen to the lessons close enough to catch what he was saying. They said, man, he is God. Talking about Fard or Farad or whatever name they chose. That's him right there. That's not what the lesson said. The lesson said, who is the original man? The Asiatic black man, maker, owner, creator of planet Earth. They also added father of civilization, God of the universe. And that was not an Asiatic black man, because, catch it now, that couldn't have been Farad. Because Farad was not an Asiatic black man. He was a half original, like Moses, as they put it. Not an original man. Now, his father was an original man, according to their teachings, and his mother was a Caucasian, according to their teachings. That doesn't make him a Saudi Arabian. That makes him a mulatto. To be a Saudi Arabian, you have to have a Saudi Arabian mother and a Saudi Arabian father. The word mulatto was a compliment. The word mulatto comes from moled. It's an Arabic word. One who is of the sun. One who's of an original birth. That's where it comes from. Look it up. You know me. Don't believe me? Check it out. So now, if that lesson says that Allah, the original man, is Asiatic black man, maker, owner, creator of planet Earth, father of civilization, and last and most important, but God, then he was trying to teach them that all of you are God. That's not that far. That's in the Psalms and it's in the book of Psalms. Is it not written in the law, I said you are God? That brother there thinks he's a prophet. Me. He thinks he's the Messiah. I'm not a prophet. I'm not the Messiah. Though I do prophesy, I don't want the title. It's limiting. If though I am a Messiah, because I anoint people, and I was anointed, I don't want to be the Messiah. It's limiting. I'm God. And so are you. If you take a drop of water out of the ocean and put into that drop of water micro living beings, that drop becomes an ocean. You with me? It's only a drop when it's in the presence of the ocean. When it's off to itself, it in itself is an ocean. And if I am in the image and after the likeness of God, and that God that they speak about in Genesis is an Elohim, consisting of both good and bad qualities, cherubim and seraphim, or Tov and Ra, however they want to put it, if I am of God, and they said, well, look now, the man has become like one of us to know. So if I am like that God, and that God has good and evil, that explains why I do so much evil. So much shadiness and shiftiness. And don't act like you don't. That also explains why you want to do good, and do good by others at times. Right? Because it's there in us. And that makes us that drop of water from that great ocean to all. And I don't care how far you take water away from the ocean, it's always trying to get back. You put water in your hand, it'll seep through your fingers, through the cracks of your hand, and if not, it will evaporate into the atmosphere. If you put it into a contained environment where it can't seep through, you let that water sit there, and it may take months, but that water will evaporate. Go up there and come back down and find its way back to that ocean. If they mix coffee in it, and sugar in it, and milk in it, when it gets into your body is going to split the water, take the coffee and the sugar, your father and the milk, and then take the water out of the milk. You follow that? And maintain 3/4 of that body as water. So if the body maintains this liquid state, it then already passed the solid state. It's already on its way back to the ocean. See, Christianity is a physical state. That's why we call the first degree Christ-ism. It's all based on the death of a man and the resurrection of a man. For you to receive perfection, you must pass through this physical thing. That's physical. Mosesism is the law. It's not the physical, it's the gas. Sacrifice a lamb, a goat, a dove, a turtle dove, an oxen, but don't sacrifice human beings. So they got it backwards. It should be Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. And not Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. They got it backwards. That's the gas stage. When you get to Islam, it's all supposed to be spiritual. But what happened is, the leftover Christians and the leftover Jews conquered Islam. That's why Islam was called Islam, a state of peace. But the mortals, the seraphims, want to define it as submission.